I joined in the Navy thinking I wouldn't have to go to Vietnam. When I got to my first duty station in Guam, they informed me not to get too comfortable because I was leaving for Vietnam. Come to find out, we had detachments all over the Far East, and they would send all the married people to the places like in Japan and that, and send us single people up to Vietnam. I remember my first day there, we were trying to land, and the runway was under attack, and was getting hit with these 120 millimeter rockets. We had to stay up there and circle, and it was a rude awakening when I finally touched the ground. I am transgender. I served in Vietnam as a male, and it was difficult at times. I too, when I got out, I was not appreciated. I was booed. I remember the first thing in San Francisco International Airport was to get out of my uniform. Wasn't proud. And that's a shame to treat a veteran that way. But anyway, I got home, got a job, drove 35 years for UPS. Transitioned about 10 years ago, but I do remember one little story that's kind of fitting for this. When I was a small child, my sisters got Barbie dolls, and I got a G.I. Joe, and my G.I. Joe fit in the Barbie clothes. I told them they were hiding from the Germans, you know. But I always remember that as being a little kid, that incident. And when I got out, even the VA treated the Vietnam veterans crappy. It was like they didn't want to be bothered with us. So I didn't even come into the VA health system until about 8 or 9 years ago. Avoided it that long, figuring, you know, they're not going to help me, they're not going to do anything. But making that decision to come in to the VA was probably the smartest thing I did in my life. And I remember they had a fashion show once that the women veterans have a program every year before regular Veterans Day. And it's called Fatigues to Fabulous. And I kind of knew I was going to be in it, but I hadn't been formally asked. And the lady her name was Gina Hamma. I don't know if any of you remember her, in charge of the women's program. She goes, "We want you to be in our fashion show." And I said, "Gina," I said, "you know I'm transgender." She goes, "It says so right here, but to us, you're a veteran." Those words have stuck in my mind for the last quite a few years. Really made me proud. They recognized me for who I was, a veteran. I also want to say that the VA treat the transgender and the gay community with the greatest respect, far more than the civilian world does. I feel like a princess sometimes when I'm up at the VA. And that's really my story. Thank you.